Yo, coming Sonic 3, though I'm freaky like Nikki. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Games Cage. Today, and only today, we are here with a nice little Sonic news yap session, because basically what happened yesterday, and by the way, we're kind of gonna raw dog this video because I just got my computer in a dream on my travel stay here, but this show must go on. So sit down, enjoy the show. We've got some Sonic Racing to talk about, more Sonic Frontiers DE, back and forths, and yeah, just a few more things before we enter the June hype cycle of Sonic. So let's get right into this. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, you know how it is. Alright, so last night, Arlay dropped in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. The festival is currently going on, and that basically now wraps up the final, the last set of the latest free DLC characters, which means we've got 3 more in the can. Now, we've all speculated and discussed for a while what they might be. And obviously in the comment section below, let me know what you would like to see. And not just, what you'd like to see as the next DLC, but like, I'm wondering if we are now at a point with the game where it may be time to introduce something new and different, right? So some people pointed this out with this footage right here. If you look at the Arlay footage, right, there is no CrossWorld here. So typically when you go on lap 2, right, you would go through a CrossWorld and then you get, an item box really early on. But they've found a way here. I guess maybe there's a dev build or maybe some mode coming out. But yeah, there's a no CrossWorld option over here. So maybe that might be indicative of a mode or something coming to the game. But regardless, right, I am curious to see what's coming up next. Now, we've got 3 free characters coming up, as well as we still have TMNT and Avatar on the way. I think TMNT is the next set, because I think Avatar is going to be more in the fall to align when the movie comes out, if someone hasn't already seen the movie because of leaks and stuff. But yeah, I'm curious if, like, there's multiple things I have in mind, right? Like, there's option 1, right, where we do just get these last 3 characters and they continue on with, TMNT and Avatar, and they're kind of done with the game, which I hope is not the case. Here's my thing. I do feel like if there is going to be more beyond what was promised, I feel like this is going to be the month to know. I think when they announce those final 3 characters, I think we will either, get nothing, or we will get but wait, there's more, and show a few more character slots on it. And Sega recently had their investors meeting, and they don't really, Sega's not the same as Nintendo, or as fun as Nintendo, where with Nintendo it's fun to look at the sales charts and they update all their sales units. With Sega, not really. They'll just kind of be like, this IP did this amount of money this quarter, and I think with Sonic for the last fiscal, they did over $1 million, and so people are speculating, yeah, maybe a lot of that was CrossWorlds. I wonder how well this game has sold up to this point, because I don't know, it's still a game that gets talked about. Obviously, we talk about Sonic here a lot and we cover it, so there's a bit of a biased perspective. But I can't imagine this game has done less than 2 million now over time. I'd be surprised, maybe at a low end, maybe 1.8, right? But I do feel like at this point, with all the sales, how much, it feels like a very available option. It's constantly on sale. I do feel like it hit that 2 million plus mark. And yeah, I mean, look, I do hope that there's going to be more. Now, speculation for the final 3 characters, if they are final 3 characters, it's tough, man. I do think they're going to add BD Joe, right? Because if some of you didn't see recently, what happened was the Crazy Taxi Twitter account reopened. And so I do feel like a Crazy Taxi character. It feels like, get some cross marketing in there, have one of those characters, probably BD Joe, which would make a lot of sense. And then for the 2 others, I do know a lot of people think Classic Sonic is going to get in, right? As we're entering anniversary month, right? We're about to be in June. The craziness, potentially craziness, is about to go down. So I have seen a lot of speculation on Classic Sonic. I could see Classic Sonic happening. I don't think that's a crazy notion. Would it be the most exciting thing ever? No. But, it would fit the agenda of not necessarily needing a voice actor like they don't for any of the DLCs, and you get your little anniversary pick. So I think it's going to be BD Joe, Classic Sonic, and then the 3rd pick, I hope they get weird. Honestly, I would love a weird, crazy 3rd pick, but I have a feeling it's probably going to be, it's probably going to be Ulalala, I'm guessing, from Space Channel 5, or probably Samba de Amigo. Right, I feel like those are easy picks, but I'm really, I don't know, I'm hoping for a lot more for the game. And beyond characters, I do hope that the game potentially gets a new set of content, right? We've for a long time been begging for costumes. There's been a lot of requests for item rebalancing and also a land mode. Basically what happened over the last weekend was there's an event called MomoCon where actually on my channel I hosted a tournament for the game, right? But because the game doesn't have a land mode, it is constantly, having to deal with the online. And yeah, trying to host a tournament locally for an online thing, with the random disconnects the game has is a bit of a nightmare. And so there was a ton of disconnects going on and everything. Now, granted, apparently the game shares the same servers that Epic does for Fortnite and the other games. And apparently Fortnite had a big tournament that day, which is why there was a lot of disconnects. But regardless, a land mode would be really good for the competitive scene if they even want a competitive scene for the game. I don't know. This game is weird, right? Like, I don't think Sega sees Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, or at least we don't know yet. I don't know if they see Sonic Racing CrossWorlds the same as like Nintendo sees a Mario Kart, right? Like when Nintendo drops Mario Kart, like that is their racing game for the generation. That is like the game that eventually, hopefully, they will get DLC. And even the latest investors call, Nintendo was saying how like, yeah, no, Mario Kart World is an important pillar to our company and strategy and everything. But I don't know if Sega necessarily feels that way about Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. I mean, there's a world where like, hey, they did their content for the year and they dip. And I don't know. I don't want to doom post yet. I do feel as if, though, if we don't see anything beyond what we know in June, right? Like if it is just the 3 characters and, we get maybe our first look at TM and TM, be like, all right, they're probably going to be done with the game. But in an incredible, fantastic, beautiful, happy world, right? The game gets a like big 2.0 version, item rebalances, potentially maybe a new item introduced to the game. Costumes, obviously, has been a massive request. Maybe they add voice acting. Like all this stuff is like, a bit pipe dreamy, but it would be, super nice if we got something like that. I'm begging you, bro. Just give me a little bit more for the game. It deserves a lot more. And yeah, even for gadgets, I think they need to figure out a better way for some of the gadgets to be enabled. Like they literally added the hyper, ring gadgets to the game, and then they like disabled them for festivals and they disabled them for the latest Legends competition. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like even they themselves like are adding item sets that like, oh shit, like people are figuring out, and we can't let people use this without it being too much. So I don't know. And even like the Legends competitions, for as fun as it is competitively, I wish they would give like more unique titles instead of just the typical ones they have. I wish they gave more of an incentive to go through them. They do stuff like, you can get an exclusive sticker for playing the Legends comp or whatever. So that's nice, right? But I would like, the game needs a new thing, right? I think we've talked about this, a potential elimination knockout mode, some kind of party mode. I mean, I guess the festivals are kind of like a party mode, right? But I don't know. I feel like maybe some new even single player challenges, like, some go through the ring challenges, collect as many rings as possible type challenges. Like I would like something extensive and added to the game that like we can look forward to, like a new mode or a new thing we can enjoy, because I think that's what the game is kind of lacking at this point. Like I do find myself playing it less these days, right? Like I was, you guys know me, the first few months I was like addicted. We were all addicted. But now it's kind of like I check in whenever there's a festival and a Legends comp, which I mean, to be fair, is more than most games. A lot of racing games, they come out, you play them, you dip. But at least this game still has events to keep you entertained within this. So yeah, that's the talk about Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. I really do hope we get something substantial. Please let me know in the comment section below what you would like to see from the game and what's next, because I still think there's so much they can do. Like I still think it's a shame we haven't gotten free CrossWorlds, right? Because like we've gotten tracks for the characters, but we also haven't even gotten free tracks. We haven't gotten free CrossWorlds, like stuff like that, like just to make the game feel fresh. I feel like a substantial like 2.0 or whatever, I don't know what the game is at, a substantial update to the game beyond, just a character being added would be really, really sick. I would like if this game just got one more hurrah, where it was like, all right, like let's make just one more big update for the people that have really enjoyed and played this game, because there's still a lot of people playing this game. Like whenever you look at the stats for the festivals or Legends comps, it's still like tens of thousands of people that are concurrent, which is a lot for an almost 1-year-old car racer that isn't Mario Kart. So yeah, I'm hoping for the best for the game. I hope they add more content to it, and yeah, man, just lock in, please. Give me a bit more. Now, this is another update to the ever-growing Sonic Frontiers DE discussion problem, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so now there is a Japanese, I think, leaker called Billy Bilkun, right? And they say that, rumored Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition includes all updates and DLC from the original release, features improved graphics and faster loading times. Billy Kun previously claimed the game is set to launch on Nintendo Switch 2 on June 23rd. As of now, Sega has not officially shared any details regarding the game. So, the mystery of Sonic Frontiers DE continues. You know, there's 1 week where we saw, the game go on sale on Steam and other platforms, and we're like, okay, so it's going to come on everything, right? Pause. Now we're seeing this leaker saying that it is basically a Switch 2 version, right? But they also, this leaker also at the same time said there's no details regarding other platforms. But at the same time, this leaker isn't saying that there's added content to the game. So, I don't know, bro. I don't know anymore Sonic Frontiers DE, what's going on. I think a few things have happened, right? And I said this since day one. If you guys watch my videos about DE, I've always said this since day one. Sonic Frontiers DE is either the most nothing burger update where it's just, hey, here's a Switch 2 version, that'll be like the other console versions, or it'll be something really substantial, right? I felt like there's never going to be an in-between. Obviously, I still hope there is an in-between. Like, I do hope, for example, they take this as an opportunity to potentially fix the pop-up, because, originally the pop-up issue was because of the Switch and building for that. So maybe if they figured out how to have parity over there with the Switch and other platforms, maybe they can fix the pop-up. That'd be a really cool, just quality of life update for all the versions of the game. But yeah, I don't know, I also feel very weird calling a game a definitive edition when it's when the game is free updates and the only DLC that would be bundled in is 2 costumes, the Christmas one and maybe the Monster Hunter one. So I don't know, bro. It's weird, And I do know, also a lot of people have sort of taken this to be oh, this is all they're going to have this year. This is it. I'm like, no. I've taken this out. There's a lot of people that have just been, kind of going at this, being oh my God, I can't believe this is all they're going to have this year. No, it's not, guys. They are not going to only have a Switch 2 version of Sonic Frontiers for the 35th anniversary. Do I think we're getting the next mainline game this year? No. I think that wish is long gone. But look, people forget, Sonic is an annualized franchise now. Let's look up, I'm gonna look this up here just so you know. I want y'all to look at this for me really quickly, right? Since the 2020s especially started, right? In 2020, we had, Sega Ages Sonic 2 and Sonic at the Olympic Games for mobile, which obviously, not great choices, right? But if you look here, starting 2021. In 2021, we got Sonic Colors Ultimate. 2022, besides Speed Sim and Sonic Dash, we got Sonic Origins, and we also got Sonic Frontiers same year, right? 2023, we got Murder of Sonic, Origins Plus, Sonic Superstars, and Sonic Dream Team, right? That was 2023. In 2024, right, we got Sonic X Shadow Generations, and then in 2025, we got Sonic Racing CrossWorlds and Sonic Rumble. So, yes, Sonic is basically an annualized franchise, right? Thankfully, obviously, Sonic Team has enough resources to outsource or, have multiple teams to work on stuff. Thankfully, we're not in the 2000s era of annual where, they're just releasing unfinished things. But yeah, I think anyone worried that the only thing they're going to release is going to be a Switch 2 edition is crazy. Especially when you think about, they've always had something that's available on a lot of platforms. They're not gonna put something out this year that's just a one console version of an old game that is now on par with the others. There's gonna be something, right? Whether it's a remaster, whether it's a collection, whether it's a spin-off, whether it's something will be in there. And I feel like we know that, and I think a lot of people like to doom and gloom a little bit. We're not even anniversary month. My chat was making fun of me about this, but I always say this, people forget Mario's anniversary, the 40th anniversary, was also quiet until September when it was actually Mario's anniversary and the direct they started detailing all the Mario stuff. So I think Sonic is going to be the same. Next month we're entering the actual anniversary month, right? If we look at their social media, they have very obviously been doing this retro run back where they've gone from 2010s to 2010s to 2000s and now 90s as they continue to go through this. So we're gonna get the stuff. You know what I mean? They know what they're doing during this anniversary month. I think everything is gonna be on the table. You know, like I think it is going to be boom, new announcements. And even if things don't come out this year, I think we're still gonna get announcements, right? Like Sonic is still a way bigger series than most. Like, dude, there are game IPs that are begging for a new game every 5 years. You know what I mean? Like the fact that we are at a point where like we are getting these games constantly, you know, like yearly, you know, whether they're substantial or not, is incredible, right? And of course, we want the next mainline game to be fantastic, and I think they know they have to, right? I feel like they know that Frontiers was that step up, right? Where like, all right, now we really need like a just slam hit that no matter what is going to be crazy because of how well Frontiers did. And I think they know that, and so if they need to take their time with that game, go ahead. They also probably don't want to compete with GTA 6, and in general, like it looks like Sega's year is about to be insane next year, right? From Virtua Fighter looking insane from the leaks, Strangers of Heaven looking unbelievably crazy from the trailer, Persona 6 leaks presumably come out, which means like that game is probably going to start its marketing soon. We have Persona 4 Revival coming up. We still have whatever Sonic stuff is going to be shown. Crazy Taxis coming back. Like we are about to enter like, you know, we are about to enter a crazy time for Sega. I think their 2027 is going to be unbelievable. I still think there's going to be a game or two for this year, but I do think that, you know, Sega's about to pop off like crazy for the rest of the year. And so I wouldn't worry too much, man. And like I said, you know, we've done a million speculation discussion videos here about, you know, Sonic Central or when announcements are going to happen. We're going to know within the next 3 weeks, which is very nice, right? Because we have basically a 3-week calendar option for Sonic in June, right? It's either the first week of June before Summer Games Fest, but they also could show up in the State of Play. There's going to be a State of Play on the 2nd. Stay tuned for that reaction, of course. There's going to be the Summer Games Fest on June 5th, which, you know, Jeff Keighley, we always talk about this, loves having Sonic announcements, right? Like that guy, you know, gave us the title drop of Frontiers. He gave us a Sonic Movie 2 trailer. We've gotten Gamescom trailers for Frontiers. We've gotten Sonic Superstars revealed here. I know Final Horizons DLC was shown. Sonic Racing CrossWorlds announced at, you know, Summer Games Fest. The Miku Ichiban trailer at Games Fest. Like, he loves putting Sonic stuff there. Sega loves working with Summer Games Fest because I think it's like the perfect outlet of like really popular and everybody has eyes on it. So I have no doubt that this week, whether it's the State of Play or Summer Games Fest, Sonic will show up in some way or another. And I still think we might still get a Sonic Central. I think there's a lot to talk about when it comes to Sonic in a Central that might not be like for Summer Games Fest, right? They probably have like a bunch of crossovers planned for like mobile games or whatever. They probably have Sonic Fortnite that people have been rumoring forever. So I think, you know, we're like right in that territory. I do think though, right? You know, on the, you know, let's join the pessimism side. You know what I mean? The hatred of the world. I do think if like in June there is nothing, then I will have accepted like, yeah, they probably just don't have anything to show and they want everything lined up for movie 4 and everything. But I don't think that's the case. I think we're gonna get some pretty notable announcements, or maybe not notable announcements. I do think whatever they do, they do. At the end of the day, look, the reality is next year's Sonic Movie 4. That movie is set to probably make $500 million easy after Sonic Movie 3. And it would be insane of them not to do tie-in, right? Like start doing the tie-in potential and marketing, you know, where you have Sonic Movie 4 in there with a potential game, with a potential, you know, what's it called? With potentially, you know, DLC stuff or game stuff for Metal or Amy or whoever. That cross-marketing synergy is going to go insane this next year. It makes sense to have Movie 4 and a new game pop up in the same year. And yeah, man, I'm excited to see it on. I know you guys are all too. But trust, I think, you know, listen, when it comes to Sonic, we are being fed a lot more than most people are. And it's going to continue that way. You know, I wouldn't worry about it. You know, they're about to wrap up this, you know, look at the past, the retro look at the past. And also they're doing another Sonic concert. I did see some people upset that like the dates or the places they go to, it's not really like worldwide. It's kind of like in certain locations. But that's really cool. And so they're planning everything. I do hope they do a digital anniversary thingy like they did for the 30th anniversary when we watched that digital concert together. But yeah, man, I'm excited to see what's up, man. I can't wait, except for Sonic Rumble. Sonic Rumble, I can wait a little bit for what they're doing. But guys, let me know, please, in the comment section below what you guys think of all the. Why do I have like all these different scenes open? Let me know in the comment section below what you guys all think of what's coming next. You know. So thank y'all for watching. You guys are the best, and of course, I'll see you all next time. Peace out.